Welcome again to Grace Harbor Devotional. I would like to share something from Os Hillman. I read a lot of things, as we pastors do, and from time to time there's something that someone shares that is just so well written and well said. You just have to share it. And from the scripture verse from Philippians 3:4, it says this: if anyone else thinks he has reasons to put confidence in the flesh, I have more. This is Paul writing, and he's saying, if anyone else thinks he has reasons to put confidence in the flesh, I have more. He had every right to be confident in himself. The Apostle Paul surely could relate to the business executive. Paul reached the height of his profession only to have it completely stripped and torn from him. What he thought mattered in life became rubbish compared to what God did in his heart, as it destroyed what seemed valuable at the time. It took a dramatic event to bring Paul to this revelation. It took a bright light, blindness, and the most fearful experience a human could have, being addressed personally by God, who was questioning why Paul was persecuting his people. It would not be too long after his conversion that Paul would learn one of the great lessons every child of God must learn. That lesson is to avoid putting confidence in the flesh. In our work, we are rewarded for achievement. It is a measurable life. We work. We see results. We get certain feelings of accomplishment from these activities. It was not until I was placed in a situation to experience utter failure that I could identify with the words of Paul. I identify with the words of Os Hillman because I have been in positions of utter failure, and that's how I can identify with Paul. I have met other workplace believers as well who achieved great success in their business life only to experience a dramatic life, like in their personal life. That personal handshake with failure, it can lead to this realization. Whatever was to my profit, I now consider loss for the sake of Christ. That's what Paul would write. What is more, I consider everything a loss compared to the surpassing greatness of knowing Jesus Christ as my Lord. For those whose sake I have lost all things. I consider them rubbish, that I may gain Christ and be found in him. This is what Paul writes in Philippians 3, verses 7 through 9. Sometimes God lets us experience great pain to learn the lessons of great importance. Knowing Christ intimately is the most important lesson we will learn. Take stock in what you find your greatest pleasure in today. Avoid placing your confidence in things that are rubbish, so that you might know him more intimately. On a personal note, I recently, on a fishing trip, won the jackpot for the biggest fish on an afternoon fishing trip. That's a big deal, right? To win the jackpot when you go fishing. But the fellowship with the brothers, the fellowship with the men that I went fishing with, was by far the sweetest reward of the day. Relationships over recognition. Every day. Not confidence in the flesh, but confidence in God and confidence in his Spirit in us. God bless you today. I hope that this lesson resonates with you.